The following program has been furnished and paid for by Ask the Expert Show. KSEV is not responsible for its content or the products or services offered. Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local experts in the field of health, legal, financial, and home improvement. Now, here's your host, Gary Knight.
And a hearty welcome. I hope your weekend is going fine. I'm the aforementioned Gary Knight.
Yep. I'm talking to you. Let's see how it works. What do you think? What do you think? Yep.
That's the voice of Harold Pickett. Welcome in to Ask the Experts, everybody. Okay, I never met a microphone I didn't like. Where did we hear that from? What's that all? Tell us. Can you tell us something about that?
I sure can. We got to talk to Debbie Tingler over with Arrow Child and Family Ministries on the Health and Wealth Power Hour this past Thursday.
Riveting.
I'll tell you what, it was amazing talking about the travesty that is the child trafficking, the human trafficking that's going on right here in our great state of Texas. And really, we were asking Texans to step up, to keep an eye out for this, because it is epidemic level, and it is amazing. We're talking about the average child age now being trafficked, Gary, of a amazingly low 12 years old.
Wow.
12-year-old girls primarily being trafficked, and it has not helped, of course, with the border crisis that we have right now. It's just a terrible situation. And Debbie was here to talk a little bit about that and talk about how Arrow Child and Family Ministries is helping, is giving a safe place for those kids out at Freedom Place. They have a great rehabilitation program to get those kids back on the right track and place them with a loving, caring family. There was a lot talked about on the foster care crisis that's in Texas also, looking for Texas families to step up and help with that too. You can go out and check out that organization at arrow.org and find out more about them and how you can support them, Gary. I highly recommend, if you're listening today, go check out arrow.org and see how you can help learn more about this terrible situation that's going on right here in our state. That's
Health and Wealth Power Hour. We have the podcast, too, and you have it, too, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do they get a hold of your podcast?
Yeah. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can go right out to our website and check us out. And, of course, also on our Facebook page at gofessa.com or eaglecarehealth.com. Either of those places, you can find the links to get over to that podcast, Gary.
And not to confuse you more, folks, Ask the Experts is right along with it, right?
That's right.
Isn't that what we're doing now, right? We're going to get back to that.
Absolutely, yeah. You can find all those links right there on the KSEVradio.com website,
That's right.
too. Go out and find everything right there. KSEVradio.com. You can listen to us, of course. If you're not in the Houston area, listen on 700, or you want to get on that app. That's a handy-dandy app. Lots of the folks that I know, that's where they listen to us. Right there is on the app, Gary.
512-687-6202 or
gofessa.com.
And I need a health plan. Here's the first question.
Okay.
A health plan that will cover a procedure I need to have done. How do I find the plan that provides that coverage, Harlan?
Sounds to me like someone's got a pre-existing condition.
Okay.
Tell you what, they got to have a procedure done. They already know something is going on. No telling what they have at this time as far as coverage. Maybe they have nothing, and that is what the concern is. I tell you what, very interestingly, I was talking to a gentleman just a couple of days ago that feels like he needs to have a colonoscopy. Feels like maybe there's something not quite right going on in that area.
I'm getting up on I understand. Not to be funny, but that's
you're sitting a little straighter right now, Gary, for some reason.
That's a dangerous
and that's a concern he has. How am I going to pay for that? And really, your choices at this point are to make sure that you get a plan that covers those pre-existing conditions, which any plan that is under the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare, either on or off exchange, as long as it meets the conditions of Affordable Care Act, they have to cover those pre-existings. Most of your group plans are going to do that. And then, of course, a plan that you might get on the marketplace would take care of that. If you need to look at something because you don't get a tax credit off the marketplace, then certainly we can help you with that. And our sister company, Eagle Care Health Solutions, is who primarily we send all those folks over to. And you can reach out to them at eaglecarehealth.com or 512-559-4358, or reach out to us here at gofessa.com, and we can also get your information over to them.
Arlen Pickett with Gary Knight here on Ask the Experts. Okay, my son turns 26 in July. I guess it's this July.
Yeah.
I just found out that he can no longer stay on my employer plan. I see you shaking your head.
Yep.
What options does he have?
Yeah, very interesting. A few things that changed in Obamacare that a lot of folks just still don't even realize, even though we're years later into this process, is that kids can stay on longer. Used to be a lot of times they were kicked off at 21, even 22 years old, or if they got out of college. So when you had to prove that child was in college for them to stay on the plan, or some of them were knocked off at 19.
Really?
Well, now most of them get to stay on until 26, depending on the plan, but pretty much across the board till 26, even if they're married. Gary, a lot of times they can even be married and still be on your plan.
That's
It's very common for me to see that. But once they hit 26, boom, they're knocked off. And it's going to be the month that they turn 26 that they are kicked off of that plan. A lot of times those kids these days are not employed. They may still be living at home. They may still be in school. So we have to look at that specific situation. Maybe they are or they have been working in the past. They could be on unemployment right now. We look at their situation, find out kind of what their income is going to be, and then most of the time they're going to qualify for an ACA plan, an Obamacare plan. A lot of times it's zero cost. Or a gentleman that I helped, a young man this week, his plan is going to cost him $4 a month, Gary. $4 whole dollars a month.
$4.
$4, yes. And that is going to be a zero deductible plan he was able to qualify for.
Wow.
And it is $4 a month. He was, needless to say, or let me change this. His mother was very happy because she's the one that will be paying for that.
Oh.
She said, I wish he would have got kicked off my plan sooner because I'm fixing to save a bunch of money. It cost a whole lot more than $4 to have him on my group plan. So in this case, it all turned out good. It's not always that way, but we certainly can help those folks walk down that pathway and find them the best route.
That's why all these different alphabets that everybody, it's a different situation for each and every one of us.
That's exactly right.
Okay, how about turning 65 in October? I wish I could turn 65 once again. It says here, I've been told I have to sign up for Medicare Part A and Part B at this time. Is that true? And another question, let me add this on too real quick.
Okay.
I really don't want to get on Medicare. Do I have a choice on this?
That's a very interesting question. So they obviously have a reason why they don't want to get on Medicare. And we don't know what they have now. They didn't tell us any more information, right?
That's
Okay, so they're turning 65. They've been told they have to get on Medicare Part A and Part B. Under regular circumstances, that is the case. Now, if this individual happens to be on a group plan, Gary, then they don't necessarily have to do that. If you have group insurance, it's your choice whether to sign up for A and B at that time. Typically, it's a good idea to sign up for A because it's free.
okay.
All the years on your pay stub where it said Medicare, they were taking out what you were paying for your Part B coverage, or Part A coverage, and therefore you might as well get it. It just covers your hospitalization as all Part A does, and that means that if you have a group plan and you're hospitalized, Medicare will cover your deductible and maybe any other out-of-pocket that you could have had on your health plan, which is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is.
Now, a lot of times there's no additional benefits if you had Part B. Your plan would work the same, and all you do is just be paying that extra money.
Okay.
But if they do require you to sign up for Part B, or else you have to pay a penalty if you sign up later, unless you are on a qualified group plan. So if you're on that qualified group plan, let's say you decide you're not going to retire until 68, Gary, then you don't have to sign up for Part B for the next 3 years. And once you retire, you can sign up with no penalty. Okay? Does that make sense to you, Gary?
No,
You get kind of that free time. You had that same situation, didn't you, buddy?
Well, I'm working now, and I'm with the Group Here health plan. And I'm ready to go probably with you here. Things have to be ironed out with that. But
Right. We've been talking about it, son.
okay,
Right?
so, yeah, I guess it fits in with me, too.
So you would sign up for Part B, but there'd be
Right.
no penalty
No.
for these years that you haven't had Part B.
Right.
There's no penalty for that because you've had continuous qualified group coverage all of that time, Gary.
But do I still have to wait for open enrollment to do so?
You do not, because if you are working, you can change. You can get on Part B at any time.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
The only thing you would have to worry about in your case is your current group plan. Will they let you step off of that and on to something else to cover that gap? Because as I mentioned, if you have that plan and you are still working, Part B may not provide you any benefit So paying for that extra Part B while you're still working and having your group insurance plan may not benefit you anymore. It may just cost you more. You would have to talk to your HR department and the company that runs your, who has your group plan, and make sure that if you signed up for Part B, you could step off now and on to something else that would provide that coverage.
Very interesting. Now, if I sign up for Medicare, do I also have to sign up for Social Security at the same time we were talking about?
Great question. That is a very, very good question. I get asked that quite often, and the answer is no.
No.
Remember, you can actually start your Social Security at 62.
Okay.
And we know you cannot start Medicare right now till 65.
Correct.
So clearly you don't have to sign up for one to sign up for the other. But on the reverse side of that, you can sign up for Medicare at 65, but anyone turning 65 now, anyone coming up to turning 65 now, their full retirement age is not 65. We know that for a fact. It's going to be 66 and some months. So that means that if they were to retire, they were to get on Medicare, in other words, if they started taking Social Security at the same time when they turned 65, they would not get the full benefit of Social Security at that time. They would need to wait until later. Okay?
Gotcha.
You understand where I'm going out there, Gary?
Yes,
You can't get your full retirement benefit right now if you're turning 65 until 66 and sometime after that. Some months after that, depending on your age.
Can I confuse you a little bit?
Please.
I'm 72.
Uh-huh.
I waited till 66 when it was only 65 because I could get some more extra money.
Yes, sir.
Which was probably $1,000 or so more.
It builds up, yes, sir.
Anyway, that's where I'm at with this. So I'm just waiting, and I'm ready to. It's hard to make that move. I get a little nervous. It's like, wow, I've always been taken care of with my group health.
That's right.
All my jobs have taken care of it. Now I'm getting into some unknown waters. And I think a lot of people feel that way, too.
Absolutely, they do. You get used to that common thing, right? This is what I've always known. It's very interesting. It's not just at Medicare age. It's also people that have been working in corporate America or in jobs that have always had benefits, and now they want to step out on their own.
Exactly.
And work their own business, and for the first time ever, they've got to be responsible for their own insurance. Gary, I was in that situation back in 2007, and I can tell you it was as scary back then as it is today. The good news is, because I have the experience and I've helped literally hundreds of people to walk through that, I can give them the very best advice and show them the best path to go down. Contact us at FESA, gofesa.com, 512-687-6202. That's 512-687-6202. We can help you go down the path that will provide the best benefits for you going forward if you're ready to step out from that corporate America trap that all of us got in at one time, it seems like, and get back into the real world. And then, of course, you look at your situation, Gary, when you're ready to start saving that money because, buddy, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
You can save money by switching to Medicare now.
Yeah.
But I understand it's a scary thing. It's a change, and boy, change can be pretty scary, Gary.
Well, speaking of stepping out, we're going to do that real quick, and we'll be back. Gary Knight and Harlan Pickett here. This is Ask the Experts. We'll be right back.
The Federal Employee Service Association, FESA, helps federal and non-federal employees. In 2008, a group of individuals with over 100 years of combined experience in financial services created an organization with a service-first approach. They began by becoming federal benefits specialists and helping those employees understand their benefits at no cost. In 2017, they took their experience helping federal employees and made the same services available to the non-federal worker. With a service-first, at-no-cost approach, they utilized the retirement income planning philosophy of people are living longer and must have a guaranteed income stream they cannot outlive. At FESA, one of their newest free services is Social Security Maximization. Highly trained individuals, supported by sophisticated software, are available to make Social Security claiming a peace-of-mind experience. An individual can receive hundreds of thousands of dollars and sometimes millions of dollars from their Social Security benefits. It is very important that decisions are made that maximize that income stream. Whether they're working with Social Security, pensions, or IRAs, FESA begins with a free personal benefits analysis to help you understand which benefits are available to you and what you may be paying for that you cannot use. Human resource departments work for companies, but FESA works for you. Contact FESA today at 512-687-6202 or log on to gofesa.com. That's gofesa.com.
And we're back. That was a quick minute.
Sure was.
A little over a minute, but who's counting? All right, this is Gary Knight. This is Ask the Experts. Harlan Pickett is with us today. In February, I was finally approved for Medicare disability. Okay,
Hey.
I understand that so far.
Okay.
But I still don't have Medicare. I don't understand. Now, no one that I've talked to has been able to explain this to me. Harlan, maybe you can do that for him.
Hey, okay, the first thing that happened there, Gary, I can understand. They got on Medicare disability. First of all, Gary, there's no such thing.
Ah, okay.
It's Social Security disability.
Ah,
I think the first thing that happened with this individual is they were a little bit confused on what exactly they were getting. Social Security disability is a program for folks that are disabled, can't work anymore.
Okay.
It's quite a process that you have to go through. I noticed they said they finally got approved. It probably took them a while. Average time is about 18 months that it takes to get approved to get on that program.
Wow.
But once you have been on it for 24 months, Gary, then you automatically get Medicare.
Well, that's good.
That's good, but it's 24 months. Too many people think that I got on disability, Medicare's next week, tomorrow, next month. No.
Has it been like that
months.
for a long time?
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be like that probably for another
For the
24.
foreseeable future, we of course, we never know. I mean, there's a lot of talk, of course, still about a lot change to the.
Okay, I remember signing up for Medicare Part A. I know I did.
Sure,
But
okay.
it says here, this person says, I just found out I have Medicare Part A. I never signed up for it. How did this happen? Yeah, how did that happen?
Okay, it's actually very common. If you have.
So I never had they would have given it to me nonetheless? Is what
That's,
you're saying?
in many cases, they would have, because they've kept up with you over these years. When you turn 65, a lot of times you just end up with Part A. It's no cost to you. Remember what we talked about earlier?
Well, that's true.
It costs you nothing. So
Yeah, but
whenever
the only thing I'm worried about, they could have signed me up at 65 instead of 66 in that case, and I would have lost that $1,000 extra a month coming in.
No, you're talking about Social Security, not Medicare.
Yeah, see?
There
So
you
you're
go.
here.
All
You're
right, so
straightening
they
me
sign
out.
you up for Part A automatically, and with your Part A, now you have extra coverage because it's going to cover your deductibles and such for hospitalization. And many times people find out but it was automatic. And if you already take Social Security, it's pretty much guaranteed to going to happen. So if you turn 65 and you already have signed up for Social Security, you would virtually have to tell them not to sign you up for Part A to not get it.
Oh, okay.
And there's really no reason not to, because it is free.
Now, Social Security I want to tell the people they don't know it because they're just getting on Social Security.
Sure.
It does have a raise. It does raise according to whatever how does that work on the economy?
your COLA, your cost of living.
Yeah, it could go up another
annual
12
increase.
or 15 a month every year.
Right.
Or it could stay the same.
It could stay the same.
But it never goes down.
It doesn't go down, but there is no guarantee. The COLA, or cost of living increase, is not guaranteed. This past year, I think it was 1.4% is what it went up, and it just about made up the cost that your Part B went up. So there was almost an even out there. It has gone up more than that in the past, but there is no guarantees there. The good news is it does go up, it doesn't go down. But you're never going to see, a big 100% increase or anything like that, Gary. I wish I had better news for you there, buddy, but that's all there is.
Harlan Pickett, I don't want to put you on the spot with this question, but some say we're not going to have Social Security in another 5 or 10 years. We're losing it. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe it, and here's why. Gary, on the last paycheck that you got, was there a line on there where they were taking out for Social Security? No, they didn't take.
Yeah.
They don't take them
No,
Social
I don't
Security
think
for
so.
you anymore.
No. Are they still taking it? I don't even look at mine anymore. That's more confusing. I mean, I'm on Social Security. They're not adding still, are they, on my
They're
checks?
not adding, but they are taking out. So you still on your paycheck. See, you're not even looking anymore, Gary.
See?
But everyone who's working for somebody and having those taxes taken out is still paying into Social Security. The Social Security fund did have a $2.9 trillion excess, so there was still a lot of money in there. Now, if everything stayed the same, the way things are going, the more people coming into Social Security, there would be some issues at 2035. Social Security is a huge part of the retirement of this country. It would collapse the economy if it went away. I'm confident we'll continue to have Social Security in the future.
We're not using masks. Did they say they? I can't keep up with that. You wear them if you want.
That's right.
And if you see people wearing them, some stores still have you have to, no service, like no shoes kind of a deal.
Exactly. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Which is all right.
Interestingly enough, I noticed that this week here at the studio, The building where the studio's at, no longer a mask requirement here.
So, okay, here's a question. My wife's parents swear by the health share plan, so we switched over. We've been on it for about 8 months now, and I'm not impressed. Okay. It just doesn't seem, Harlan, to cover anything we need. Are we doing something wrong?
Okay, so in-laws, right, are on a health share plan, and they really liked it, so they switched over to it, and they just have not been
About
happy
8
with the results.
Right, correct. Right.
Okay. Let's kind of dissect that a little bit. First of all, a health share is a membership, not a plan. A plan implies that it's insurance. A health share is not insurance.
Okay.
It is a membership program.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Maybe he doesn't have, he or she didn't even say.
No.
But one of the things that they may not look at is they're trying to make it in traditional insurance plan. And if that's the first thing you're doing with a health share plan, then you've already got the concept wrong. It is not traditional.
Okay.
Typically, it's not going to cover things like preventative care or even a regular doctor's visit. And if it's a younger family with kids, that could be the reason why they're not happy with it, is they're looking for a plan, not a membership. They're looking for a plan to cover those day-to-day needs, whereas the in-laws may be at an age where they're not worried about those things.
That makes sense.
They're just looking for the preventative care for themselves. Maybe they're in good health. They don't take any medications. They don't have the same situation as a younger family, and therefore they're just not as accepting at that.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that health shares that wouldn't work for them. They just have to find the right one.
You're not down on health share.
I'm not down on health shares at all. We talked on the Health and Wealth Power Hour this past Thursday about the health share that Eagle Care Health Solutions offers that does include those benefits and immunizations even for kids. Wellness taken care of. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. Teladoc is one of the big things now. So, my daughter just had her wellness visit here not too long ago. Guess what? It was virtual.
Oh, wow. That's that new thing now.
Yeah, I mean, how in the world can you do a virtual wellness visit? But they got that stuff all figured out now, so they can do all kind of things.
I talked to one of the doctors after I got off the phone. I had a teleconferencing or whatever it was. So we can tell by looking at their face and their eyes and how it's a speaking kind of thing. We can look at them. It's amazing.
It's amazing what they can figure out now. Guess what else they have on the Eagle Care deal? Who would have thought they could do dermatology?
Really?
They can do dermatology.
Wow.
I said
they can see the blotches on there.
That's amazing. I guess they can figure out what that blotch is. You you never wanted to go in because you were embarrassed to show the doctor that spot.
Do you agree with this? I don't know if it's happening because I haven't heard, but some of these people might stay like you can do either one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to continue. I know that's another thing that's going to be added to this deal because of the COVID.
It absolutely is.
Which is good.
It is. It's very good. What is a shame is some of the biggest names in health insurance still haven't got the message and want to charge you copays for the virtual. They're saving money by you not having to go to the doctor and paying those claims, and they still want to charge you a $40, $50 copay to go to talk to the doctor on a camera
for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I hope they get with the game and realize that that's just not necessary anymore. Some of the more cutting edge health insurance companies, and of course most of the health shares and great companies like Teladoc and MD.me, they figured it out. They understand that you don't have to charge those big, expensive copays. It helps everybody. One of the other things I don't think a lot of people understand, Gary, is that even if you're doing a telemedicine, a lot of times they can write you a prescription via telemedicine. They can call in prescription for you. Wow. We're not talking about painkillers and such as that, Gary, but a lot of your common things. Let's just imagine that you got poison ivy on you. You know that you need probably something to take that swelling down. Let's go ahead and get you on a steroid. Let's get you some anti-itch cream. They can call that right in for you. You can show up there at your local pharmacy and pick that up, Gary. Very inexpensive. It was a zero-cost telemedicine visit. What a great deal.
It is a great deal. What's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid? Somebody asked us.
Very interesting question. I'll tell you, it's a great question, too, because there's so much confusion between those two. There are some folks that actually are on both of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get very specific here in the state of Texas right now. Obviously, most of the folks that are listening to us are right here in the state of Texas. Medicare is for individuals that are 65 and older. It includes Part A and Part B. We're going to talk about just those parts right now. That's going to be your hospitalization. And then Part B is kind of the rest of the stuff, doctors, x-rays, labs, such as that.
Those are the 80% right there, right?
It's kind of an 80-20 plan.
And then you go to Advantage, whatever.
Right. Then you get something else to help take care of the
not
rest
to
of
get
it.
their-
Okay.
get carried away.
Medicaid is for people at a low income level.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Now, in the state of Texas, that is only going to apply to children 18 years and younger or individuals 65 and older that meet the definition of low income, or their families meet the definition of low income, Gary. That means the parents may be on a regular plan, but the kids, the income level for that family is low enough the kids would be on Medicaid, and that is state sponsored. Now, in Texas, we did not expand Medicaid. In many other states, that income issue will go all the way through the rest of that 19 to 64. Texas did not do that. So the only way that someone 19 to 64 would qualify for Medicaid in Texas is if they have a severe disability where they have to have continuous care.
Oh, all right.
Okay?
I got
so
you.
you have one that is for seniors, or we talked about this earlier too, Medicare can also be for someone who's disabled and has been on SSI for 24 months or more. But Medicaid is for people financially that are in financial difficulty and very low income.
Okay. Take us out. Information. How do they get a hold of you guys?
All right, great. Yes, sir. FESA, you can meet us, get Federal Employee Service Association, gofesa.com, or 512-687-6202, 512-687-6202. And don't forget, you can listen to us every Thursday, Health and Wealth Power Hour. Your host, Harlan Pickett, talking to you about all things health and wealth, 1 to 2 p.m. every Thursday, right here on KSEV 700 and KSEVradio.com.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Thanks again for tuning in for another Ask the Expert Show right here on AM 700 KSEV.